Morning Football on the NFL Network. Kyle Brandt was talking about the best pass rushers in the NFL. Here's who his top was.
Seen what this gentleman looks like? I mean, are you actually out of your mind?
Shirtless or in a suit.
Yeah.
You can see the muscles.
It doesn't matter. That guy's on my podium, baby. That guy's standing on the top. I think he is the best athlete of the pass rushers. If you want to get into the weeds with PFF, he's at the top of nearly every category they keep track of. He's getting help now. I just think he's been untapped. I still don't think we've seen the best of Myles Garrett. I think he's going to be the Defensive Player of the Year this year. I think he's that good. Joey Bosa, I know it's a strange one, and maybe people don't have him there. Again, if you want to get into the weeds, it's like his win rate is skyrocketing. Some maybe say he's not even the best in his own family. I do. And then the Aaron Donald thing is like, he's the best player. Best pure pass rusher, I don't know. Mike Trout may be the best baseball player. There's better home run hitters. You know what I'm saying? I love that Donald as an interior lineman is even on the podium, even in the arena. Right. It's a joke. So almost out of respect, I will give him the bronze. But I think as those pure one-hand down speed rushers, I'm going to go Garrett and Bosa above him.
Let's bring in Kevan Arnold from the Land on Demand podcast. And Kevin, what do you make of it? Myles Garrett, best pass rusher. And the thing I think that Brandt made a very valid point, we haven't seen just how good Myles Garrett can be.
We haven't. And we haven't seen him on a defense like this that is so deep and has so many weapons on it that you can use to, especially in this 4-2-5 in that defensive backfield, that you can use against these NFL offenses and how it's such a pass-happy league. And now, especially on that defensive line, having more depth. And if you can get Jadeveon Clowney to give you what everyone kind of expected to see out of Clowney, especially the guy in that bowl game against Michigan who's getting in the backfield, disrupting the run game. If you can get that kind of guy now along that defensive line and he shifts along that offensive line of the opposing teams, they can't just shift all the way over to Myles Garrett. And Kyle Brandt talked about he could be the Defensive Player of the Year, and he is right on about that. Because if you can allow Myles Garrett to have more one-on-one matchups, more often than not, 9 times out of 10, Myles Garrett is going to win that matchup with NFL offensive linemen.
We're talking with Kevan Arnold from the Voice of the Land podcast. And Kevin, when you look at that, he was on track to be that player last year, and then he got COVID, and by his own admission, he was never quite right. Looks like he's pretty much right again, which is good news for the Browns.
And I think that motivated him too, because you saw what kind of motivation he came in with last season and the track that he was on, as you mentioned, Dave, and being losing part of his season, honestly, to COVID-19. It's something, unfortunately, of course, in this pandemic, none of us have ever know how to deal with. But now that he has been able to overcome that himself and understanding and not taking the moments in those games for granted, he is focused on his craft. He sees what the team, the organization is trying to do to develop a winner and help him on the defensive side of the ball, as they did with Baker last year and helping him on the offensive side. That has just driven his motivation to a whole nother level this offseason. And he is going to be one of the leaders on that defense. But he's not just going to lead with his voice. He is going to lead by example, and you are going to see a guy giving everything he has on every single play, because there's all these unknowns sometimes that, COVID-19 took it away from him last year. He's going to show you in 17 games this year, and hopefully more than that, as Browns fans well know and are well anticipating. He's going to show you every single day he is one of, if not the most dominant defensive player in the entire league.